Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our Disney tier list, part 2. Now, if you have not watched part 1, I highly recommend you to leave this video and go watch it right now. I'll leave a link in the description below. And without further ado, let's continue. This indeed is a sci-fi classic. This was the movie that put Disney on the map, back on the map, and praising the performances of Jodie Benson and Samuel E. Wright, rest in peace. But everything about The Little Mermaid, the songs, especially the song, the characters, the ocean atmosphere, even the romantic side of it all, The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Easy choice for certified classic. Now, how do I feel about the remake that's coming out in 2023? I think Halle Bailey is going to do a magnificent job. It's going to be like Lady and the Tramp. I think it's going to be like Lady and the Tramp remake. It's going to be heavily culturally diverse. And I can't wait till March 2023 to see that movie. I'll be first in line in a theater when that movie comes out. But anyway, The Little Mermaid is a certified classic. Next we have is The Rescuers Down Under. This came out in 1990. Now, I actually have a good little story about this movie. I remember back in elementary school, we had this little Australia festival type thing, and they showed this movie a lot when they were doing their little Australia festival, as us elementary kids was learning about other cultures around the world. So The Rescuers Down Under, I'll say this much about it. I like this version better than The Rescuers. I know this is very, very unpopular for me to say, but this is one of the rescue movies that I actually like. It's not like the Renaissance movies that came out in this era. It didn't feature much singing, but it held up on its own. And also, this is the first Disney movie to have an animated sequel. Not one of those direct video type stuff. A theatrical sequel. And I think this one was solid. Next we have is Beauty and the Beast. This is another certified classic. This one, I don't even have to explain how much. It was a great movie, and the remake was just as good. Emma Watson did a really good job in that movie. Took place in France. Belle, her character is amazing. That song, I know he was the villain. He was very, very good. And the Beast himself, yeah, he's also amazing. I like his character, even his flaws. Even the inanimate objects characters, like Mrs. Potts and her son, Clocksworth, guy with the candle, I forgot his name. They were also very, very good. And also, High School Musical, the series, season 2 is based off of this movie. Sum it up. And so that's how much culturally impactful Beauty and the Beast is. Next we have is Aladdin. This one could be a certified classic if it wasn't the whole where you hurt off your hand is a part of life, barbaric, but hey, it's home. I might have butchered the words, but this is excellent. This is an excellent movie. Jasmine's one of the prettier Disney princesses of all time. Aladdin, he was a street rat, but I also don't like the message it sings. Aladdin can tell you could cheat and lie your way to the top instead of being true to yourself. That's the message I did about Aladdin. But he did lock the girl up in the end. He got the girl in the end. Next we have is The Lion King, under certified classic. We already have 3 in this video. Lion King is indeed a certified classic. James Earl Jones, Mage Sinclair, rest in peace, Simba, Timon and Pumbaa, Whoopi Goldberg, she was in this movie as a hyenas. I mean, movie. One time, I remember high school when I was in high school band. We based one of our concerts off of this movie, The Lion King. Elton John, he produces a very, very good soundtrack. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Shout out to Jason Weaver. You had Hakuna Matata. It had a spin-off series. They had a spin-off series, Timon and Pumbaa. And one thing I like about Lion King was the sequels. Unlike all the sequels that were terrible from Disney, their sequels I actually enjoyed. Lion King 2 I liked pretty good. But I really liked, I know this is unpopular, but I liked Lion King 1.5, where Timon and Pumbaa get to tell their story. I really enjoyed that. But Lion King, I think this is, we all can agree, this is a certified classic. Next we have is Pocahontas. Now, if you take out all the historic inaccuracies about this movie, this would be excellent. But with it, this is just a solid movie. I didn't think it was terrible. I feel like this movie, in a way, kind of slightly misrepresents Native Americans in a light. Pocahontas, she goes where the wind flows. And there isn't really much I gotta say about this movie. It's just pretty good. It's not terrible. It's not all that great in my opinion. I thought it was a very solid project for Disney. Hunchback of Notre Dame. This movie is underrated in my opinion. This is an underrated movie, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I thought this was excellent. It wasn't featured a lot of singing. There's not a lot of singing in this movie, if I recall. I don't like King Frollo because he is a conniving little whiz. And Esmeralda, she's I don't know if they consider her, put her in the class of Disney princesses, but she's a very good character. She was actually my favorite character in this whole movie. And I don't know what the deal is with the gypsies and stuff, but hey, Hunchback of Notre Dame, in my opinion, is an excellent movie. Tarzan, on the other hand, excuse me, we haven't got to Tarzan yet. Hercules. Hercules is solid. It's not too terrible. It's not all that great. I think it's a little overrated, in my opinion. Mulan. At this point, I am tasting oxygen. I was born at this point. So this is basically my era of Disney. Mulan. The remake for this movie was terrible. I did not like the remake of this movie that came out last year or the year before, whatever the case was. I did not like the remake. Christina Aguilera, I do love the song Reflections though. That is one of Christina Aguilera's best songs. What else I gotta say about this movie? This is one of the remake was one of the rare instances. Fun fact: this is one of the rare instances that the Mulan remake of 2020 received a PG-13 rating for violence, and that's extremely rare for Disney movies. They're usually PG or less. But Mulan, on the other hand, I don't want to get too much flack for this one, because I would put it, if it was up to me, I'll put it in a big miss. But there are some movies that do go under there. This is could have been better. Tarzan, same thing, same as Hercules. This movie could have been better. This isn't awful, but it could. But I thought it was solid. This is one of the movies I gotta rewatch. Dinosaur, Disney's first CGI CGI movie, computer-based movie. I don't remember it. I don't even think I even seen it. So I'm gonna put this in I haven't seen. Emperor's New Groove. Now we're out of the Disney Renaissance era. And Emperor's New Groove, excellent. It kicked off the era very well. Cusco, although he's a bit selfish at times and egotistical, he's a good little character. Now, Eartha Kitt's character, Yzma, she's evil. And Kronk, He's a lovable little villain. Now, next movie we have is Fantasia 2000. I'm gonna put this in a solid tier. Same as same as the original. But I do like this because this one is the one I do remember. I don't remember the Fantasia 1941. It had the flamingos, the guy in the carpenter wanted to be in the jazz band, Pomp and Circumstances, which is a Noah's Ark tale that features Daisy Duck and Donald Duck, and they brought back the Sorcerer's Apprentice. But Fantasia 2000, I liked it, that one. Next we have Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Say whatever y'all want about this movie, but this movie's excellent. I love this movie. This is one of the now back in the day, this movie it did well critically, but it didn't perform commercially. Disney had a lot of plans for this franchise. It was gonna build a series, have a Disney World ride to it, but because it underperformed in the box office, it didn't get the love then. But I think with a Disney remake, it'll get a second chance. This is one of the, like the Black Cauldron, this movie deserves a second chance. Excuse me. So, say whatever y'all want about Atlantis. This movie is probably the most underrated Disney movie of all time. And in my opinion, this is one of the greatest, one of the most underrated Disney movie. Next we have is Lilo and Stitch. This one's excellent too. It's very, very different. It took a very different turn with the whole Stitch. He's very lovable. Lilo, she is Lilo, but Donnie, she's powerful, and she's doing everything she can to raise her little sister after their parents, I think their parents died in a car accident or something. But Lilo and Stitch, this movie is very, very good. Now, as for its sequels, they had like 3 sequels. And the ones are, if I can name them, there was Lilo and Stitch 2, Lilo and Stitch, Stitch Has a Glitch, and Leroy and Stitch. Not to mention they had a spin-off series and 2 crossover episodes with the Proud Family and I think Kim Possible. So this franchise did very, very well in the 2000s. And its ride at Disney World is it's pretty good too. So that's for Lilo and Stitch. Next we have is Treasure Planet. This is one of the worst Disney movies I've ever seen. I would say it was one of the 2 movies like Atlantis. It had a big budget, but it badly underperformed. I didn't like it at all. So Treasure Planet is one of the worst. Brother Bear. I feel like this movie represents Native Americans a little better, especially the ones that live north of the Alaska area. This one's solid. This one was okay. I do need a refresher. Phil Collins, he bodies the soundtrack. If that's him singing. I think Phil Collins did the soundtrack. The Native Americans turning into a bear, the moves. Michael Clark Duncan's in this movie. The bad little kid from the Bernie Mac show, he's in this movie. And it has a good little message to this too. Next we have is Home of the Range. This one, I think we're all agreed, this is another one of those bad Disney movies. I tried to sit through it, but I did not like it at all. Next we have is Chicken Little. This movie I remember very, very much. I watched it as a kid many, many times. And I love the whole throwback song they put in there, like Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Wannabe. There were a lot of references to that. This is Disney's second CGI animated movie. Dinosaur being the first. Now, if 10-year-old me was doing this tier list, I would have put it in an excellent tier. But looking back on it, I had to bump it down to solid. This was solid for me. I thought it could have been a little better. You know what? I'm gonna bump it down. It could have been better. It could have been a whole lot better, but it works for me. It doesn't work for most people, but hey, I'm the critic. Next two movies we have is Meet the Robinson and Boat. I don't remember. I don't remember either one of these movies at that. That's two movies I do need to check out. I don't think I watched them. At that point, Pixar was taking over Disney. So, I have not seen Meet the Robinson and I have not seen Bolt. Princess and the Frog. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but this is a certified classic. Finally, Disney did a movie that appropriated black people in the right way. It took place in New Orleans. The cast in the movie is amazing. Anika Noni Rose. Fun fact about this movie. Y'all know that Princess Tiana is the only Disney princess that's a southpaw. According to Rose, she wanted her character to be left-handed because she herself is left-handed, and Disney honored this request. So that's one thing I like about it. Oprah Winfrey, I think she's also in this movie. And that guy from Greenleaf, he's in that movie too. Now, throughout this movie, they were like frogs. Disney returned to the traditional animation ways, and it worked very well. This movie, in a way, is underrated. I don't see it a lot on TV a lot, as I used to. But I could watch this one of the Disney movies I could watch over and over and over and enjoy it like I'd never seen it before. But this is a very, very good movie for Disney. Tangled. The first time, I'll tell you a story. First time I saw Tangled was, I think it was I was in middle school, going on a field trip to Busch Gardens, and they put this movie on. I didn't really think nothing of it. Then it started airing it on ABC more and more, and I was like, you know what? This movie's not bad. And because this is the 50th, quote unquote 50th Disney movie to ever come out, I think this movie's also a certified classic because of Mandy Moore's performances. They made Rapunzel. They tweaked up the plot of her story, and yeah, Tangled is a very, very good movie in my opinion. Next we have is Winnie the Pooh, the most recent 2D animated movie Disney has done up to this point, and I have not seen that one. Wreck-It Ralph, I have not seen Wreck-It Ralph, maybe because of lack of interest. And I'm gonna go ahead and do Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, because I have not seen that one either. That's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Frozen is next. If it wasn't for them overplaying Let It Go over and over and over and over, I will put this in the certified classic. But because of that, Frozen to me is just excellent. This is an excellent movie. The plot line, sisters, one's shutting out the world, which is a moral of the story. You cannot shut out the ones you love. And the other characters in the show, like in the movie, Kristoff, and the reindeer, and and Olaf. Olaf was a very, very good comic relief for this movie. And with that being said, Frozen, and one thing about Frozen, is a very, very good franchise. A lot of sequel shorts, Christmas specials, and a sequel that I'm going to talk about in a minute has made Frozen what it is. Big Hero 6. This movie all I remember is this movie won an Oscar for Best Animated Film. Other than that, I don't remember this movie at all. I have not seen this movie, again, because of lack of interest. But the last 5 movies on here, I have seen. So that's good news. Moana was so good, I saw it in theaters twice. So, for me, this is a certified classic. It appropriates Samoan people or Hawaiian people Louis Cravillo, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Nicole Scherzinger, she's in this movie, and Pittsburgh Steelers safety Troy Polamalu had a small role in there. But I liked it, Moana, very, very much. The songs were quality produced, and that's how I feel about Moana. To me, in my opinion, it's a certified classic. Zootopia, a message about discrimination. This is excellent. I've seen this movie in theaters before too. Jennifer Goodwin, Idris Elba, those are two main actors that I remember in that movie. There was others too, but I don't have time to name their names. But Zootopia has a great message on discrimination. That is bad to discriminate people based off of how they look and their character, but base your character off your heart. That's what this movie is basically all about. So Zootopia, excellent movie. Oh, I forgot, Shakira's in this movie, and she had a good little song in the end. All right, 3 more to go. Frozen 2. I feel like this movie, Disney tried to overdo it and try to live up to Frozen 1. And for that reason, I think it was just a solid movie. It wasn't all that great. In my opinion, it wasn't all that great. They go to a new land to try to fix something that went wrong in theirs. I forgot what the name was. But Frozen 2, I feel like Disney tried to do a little too much in this movie. Alright, next, last 2. Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm going to do her first, because Encanto just came out. Raya and the Last Dragon. This is an excellent movie. It's one of the best animated movies to come out last year. The fighting scenes, the adventure, and all of that. And it also teaches the message that what's fighting gonna do to us? Nothing. Fighting solves absolutely nothing. And Raya and the Last Dragon, yeah, this was very, very good. Awkwafina was amazing in this film, by the way. She's one of the voice actresses that I'm gonna highlight. It depicted Asian people very, very well. And last but not least, the most recent Disney movie to come out, Encanto. And yes, I will talk about Bruno in this segment. For now, I'm going to put this in an excellent tier. This was another good movie that come out about finding your gift, even though the main character, I forgot her name already. And I just saw this movie like a couple weeks ago when I forgot her name. She doesn't have a gift, but everyone else in her family does. One I think could talk to animals. The little one. One has the gift of beauty. One has the gift to change the weather. One has the gift of being nosy. One had a gift of changing personalities. And the guy, Bruno, he has the gift to tell the future. And yes, I told you I'm going to talk about Bruno, even though they don't want me to talk about him. But if you have not seen Encanto, I highly advise you to check it out. It is that good of a movie. The songs were quality based. They were quality, good songs. The plot was very, very good. And that's pretty much that movie. So that's my tier list. All 60 some odd movies Disney made. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.